Chapter 2. How healthy is your heart? A trip to the doctor clears all doubts about the state of one's heart, especially one's series of tests have been conducted. In the same way, you can use the following methods to know how well your inner man is doing. Your thoughts. As a man thinks in his heart, so is he. The thing about the heart is that no one knows what is in your heart until we see what you do. This is why no one but God can change the heart. The heart is deceitful above all things, and it is exceedingly perverse and corrupt and severely mortally sick. Who can know it? Perceive, understand, be acquainted with this. Jeremiah chapter 17 and verse 9. The heart is Jeremiah chapter 17 and verse 9. The heart is evil. Therefore, until there is an encounter with the Spirit of the living God. This is so because after the fall of man in the garden, God brought in the power of choice. Then the Lord said, "My spirit shall not forever dwell and strive with man, for he also is flesh. But his days shall yet be 120 years." The Lord saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination and intention of all human thinking was only evil continually. And the Lord regretted that he had made man on the earth, and he was grieved at heart. Genesis chapter 6, verses 3, 5, and 6. No wonder you do not need to teach a breastfeeding baby how to bite a distracted nursing mother. No one teaches a baby to be possessive and selfish. It's just a natural thing. But as they grow, they are taught how to share and how to be considerate. A child does not need lectures on how to tell lies, but needs to learn how to tell the truth at all times. Anger is not something you learn, but self-control is a trait you have to teach yourself. This goes to show the state of the heart right from inception in this life, and it remains that way until it is reborn. What do you think about? What thoughts do you entertain when you are angry? That is who you are. What are you constantly thinking about? When you do not want people to know what kind of thoughts you have, then you really need the help of God. When you see other people progressing, do you rejoice with them? You need God to feel good about people who are making more progress than you are. That is the only way you can combat the envy and jealousy that could ordinarily arise in your heart. Even when you have an encounter with the Spirit of God, you need constant checkups and maintenance to be good. One beautiful morning, I woke up in high spirit, did all I usually do in the morning, which includes praying with the children. The day looked very promising, and I was particularly in a very joyous mood. So I set out to drop my daughter in school. The ride was also very smooth, as all the traffic lights turned green as I approached them. Just as I got to the gate of my daughter's school, I noticed a car parked close to the entrance, blocking my view of the entrance. I initially thought the entrance was completely blocked, so I got upset. I even felt the woman in the car chatting over the phone deliberately ignored me. Just then, a thought crossed my mind. Why don't you move closer to the gate? As I drove closer to the gate, I noticed the vehicle was not in my way at all. So the negative energy I created around me suddenly felt so wrong. That was how a day that should have been productive came to an end before it started. Everything stopped working as expected, including the traffic lights. I should have been patient to get close enough to the car before making a conclusion, but I was not. The state of my heart was revealed by that simple incident. There was absolutely no reason to be upset, because rather than blame people, a beautiful heart takes responsibility. After I left that scene, I knew I had to do something about my heart. Have you noticed how insignificant things upset you? It's not about the people. Your heart needs help. The mind needs to be renewed at all times. You cannot be permanently clean in your inner man. And that is why you need to constantly renew your mind by the word of God, as found in Romans chapter 12 and verse 2. Do not be conformed to this world or this age, fashioned after and adapted to its external superficial customs, but be transformed, changed by the entire renewal of your mind, by its new ideals and its new attitude, so that you may prove for yourself what is good and acceptable and perfect will of God. Even the thing which is good and acceptable and perfect in His sight for you. If you must control your thoughts to become a beautiful person, you must control the gates to your thoughts. Your eyes, mouth, ears, and even feet are all gates into your body, which is in turn the gates to your inner man. Keep and guard your heart with all vigilance, and above all, that you guard, for out of it flows the springs of life. Proverbs chapter 4 and verse 23. The only way to guard these gates is by engaging them in the word and in prayers. The friends you keep. The company you keep says a lot about the state of your heart. Your heart attracts people of like minds and people it admires. These people influence the heart more than any other thing. As in water phase answers to and reflects phase, so the heart of man to man. Proverbs chapter 27 and verse 19. If the people you attract to yourself are low on morals, you may need a spiritual checkup. Even if you were better, you will find yourself in their boat pretty soon. Do not be deceived and misled. Evil companionships, communion, associations, corrupt and depraved good manners and morals and character. 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 33. This is why the Bible enjoins us to walk with the wise. For he who walks as a companion with a wise man is wise, but he who associates with self-confident fools is a fool himself, and shall smart for it. Proverbs chapter 13 and verse 20. Blessed, happy, fortunate, prosperous, and enviable is the man who walks and lives not in the counsel of the ungodly, following their advice, their plans and purposes, nor stands submissive and inactive in the path where sinners walk, nor sits down to relax and rest where the scornful and the mockers gather. But his delight and desire are in the law of the Lord, and on his law, the precepts, the instructions, the teachings of God, he habitually meditates, ponders on, and studies by day and by night. Psalms chapter 1, verses 1 and 2. What takes your time? What you spend your time on, where you spend your time, and who you spend your time with reflects the state of your heart. If you spend your time on movies, the type of movies shows who you are or who you're going to be. If you spend your time on social media, what you do there will reflect on you.